the Jazz and Lakers now. The Lakers looking to avoid the play-in. LeBron James and company will take you early second quarter. Lakers up 8. Austin Reeves dishes it to Malik Beasley beyond the arc. Check out James's reaction. He already knew. Just watch this. He's like, yep, and I don't even need to see the three. I'm good. I will flash the three because I know it will be a three. Just over 2 minutes left in the second. Lakers up 4. Anthony Davis dishes down court to D'Angelo Russell. Passes to James for the basket. Lakers up 65-56 at the break. We'll take you into the fourth quarter. Third didn't have much. Jazz down 5. Kelly Olynyk will bury the three ball. The Jazz trail by 2. Under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Lakers up 2 now. Rui Hachimura kicks it out to James, and he will bury the deep three. James was doing this all night, by the way. He's at 30 points here. James' 80th 30-point game after turning 35, tied with Karl Malone, the mailman, for most in NBA history. Just over a minute left in the fourth. James steps into another three. 8 3-pointers in this one. The hot hand. Under a minute left. Lakers up 8. James from the crypto logo. 11 35-point game after 38, one shy of tying MJ. The Lakers win 128-117. The crown is on his head.
Live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. He's Stephen A. Smith, Jalen Rose, Malika Andrews, Michael Wilbon will be with us in just a moment live from Phoenix. But my friends, the play-in, the playoffs, they are set. And we're going to start by taking a look at the West because it has been a wild journey to get to this point, a wild Sunday. But the top 6 is set. So coming into the day, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, the Kings, the Suns, they were locked into the top 4 spots. The Clippers, they battled back. They claimed the 5 seed. The Warriors, they win in convincing fashion and secure the 6th spot. So that sets up our play-in tournament as follows. The Lakers, they host the Timberwolves in that 7-8 matchup. The winner clinches the 7th seed. And then the Pelicans and the Thunder, they square off in the 9-10 game. The winner faces the loser of the Lakers-Timberwolves for the 8th and final spot. And as our Adrian Wojnarowski has reported, the Timberwolves will be without Jaden McDaniels for that play-in game against the Lakers. They will also, the fate as of Sunday for Rudy Gobert is still unknown. So Stephen A. Smith, when you're looking at this play-in matchup, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that the Lakers are going to advance to go up against the Memphis Grizzlies in the 7-game series, that they've got a legitimate shot at winning because Steven Adams is out and Brandon Clark is out. And obviously that compromises Memphis's front line. It's going to see how pivotal Jaren Jackson is to all of us. We know how incredibly talented he is, but he's prone to get into foul trouble, and you've got to monitor and watch that. The other thing that I say about it is that I'm able to say all of those things and just significantly just bypass the Minnesota Timberwolves because of the stupidity and the idiocy of these guys. You're Rudy Gobert. You're about to go into the postseason, and you're going to punch a teammate on national television in front of a whole bunch of people, as well as your teammate. You're Jaden McDaniels. You're going to punch a wall. You're approaching the playoffs. You're in the play-in game. What could you have possibly been so mad about that you literally punch something and break your hand and you're out for the season? This is idiocy at one of its highest levels, and it's costed the Minnesota Timberwolves relevancy. The only reason we're talking about them is because of how stupid they appear right now.
Wilbon?
Wasn't it just a year ago we sat in similar places talking about the Timberwolves majoring in dumb? And I mean, I know I should use the word immaturity, you know, and be a little less agitated, but I am agitated. I mean, because you want to see Anthony Edwards surrounded by a team. This is one of the rising young stars in the league. And you get to the playoffs, and the way he's played, you know, after the All-Star break, it's like, I want to see him. And I want to see how good they can be with Karl Anthony Towns back in there, among other things. And then you get more dumb from the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is year after year after year. How many years can they do this? I mean, they were set up to be in a position to at least be competitive with that bottom group and get into the real playoffs. And now, Stephen A., I'm totally with you. I think the Lakers probably will and ought to take them apart in their single game play-in situation. And Minnesota just said, let us help you. Let us pick you up and help you knock the daylights out of us in this postseason game.
When the Lakers were looking for a coach, one of the reasons why I felt Darvin Ham would get the job, because he'd be a guy that motivate Anthony Davis. And yes, LeBron James broke the overall scoring record this year, but afterwards he was injured. Anthony Davis balled out like an all-NBA performer. And the same Darvin Ham reinvented this roster multiple times this year with D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. Now all of a sudden, this is a different team without Russell Westbrook that he now navigates. To Stephen A's point, to get to play at home in this play-in, they're going to wax Minnesota on their home floor and have a legitimate chance to upset the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. I will pick Memphis because they have Ja and they have home court advantage. But the Lakers, the basketball guys have shined down on them and put them in position to continue to advance.
Well, they're certainly not the 2-10 Lakers that started the season. They're adding Tristan Thompson. They're adding Shaq Harrison to their roster. And now we all expect, because especially with a depleted Minnesota Timberwolves team, to see them advance to the playoffs. I do want to kick around a couple of other series that we're looking at here in the West. The Kings series against the Golden State Warriors. James, in these postseason, in this playoffs, who has the most to gain when you're talking about legacy?
Well, Malika, whenever this question is posed, I look at it as, why would anybody have more to gain than anybody else? I mean, Kevin Durant, if we're just doing an inventory, right? Kevin Durant has fewer than Steph Curry and LeBron James, so he would need to catch up and play that numbers game. But let me ask you this. If you are Steph Curry and you wind up with another championship and you wind up sort of separating yourself, at least temporarily, from LeBron James, then how is anybody else other than you the sort of face of the generation of NBA basketball if you've got more championships, if we're just playing inventory? And so I have a problem with that. Obviously, LeBron is playing. They're all playing for all-time greatness. If we stack them and rank them in that way, it would appear to be LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant at this point. But if Kevin Durant wins this year and wins next year on a team that the odds makers, at least the folks in Vegas, think should be the favorite, and he pulls up with 4, then what are we talking about here? Do they all even out? So I don't like to do it in terms of just the numbers, but it seems that's all we're left with.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Godfather. Mike Wilbon talking.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
I'm being set up. I'm being set up, Jalen.
We love this man. Okay, we show up at the resort, the whole bit. We're looking forward to it, even with damn coyotes running in the backyard. Okay,
they're waiting.
What is wrong with you? The question is about this season. Michael Wilbon is such a historian. Don't you notice, Jalen? He's getting agitated by every question. I mean, look, man, it's clearly LeBron James. You know that. He's 38. Let me finish. He's 38. Okay. They started off the season 2-10. Okay, we were sitting there. We could pull up the sound bites of you going off about how disastrous this season was going to be. They've turned it around. They've been 41-29 ever since. They've been about 17-9 since the trade. They got the second best record in the NBA, and he's 38 in his 20th season, averaging what he is averaging. There is no debate. If LeBron James with this team pulls off a championship, I might have to stutter and pause, and even though I'll never get there in terms of making him better than Michael Jordan, I would actually have to sit up there and say, y'all have my permission to have that conversation. I will not refute the conversation any longer, because there's no way in hell anybody's assuming that LeBron James is going to pull this off. Of course LeBron has the most to gain for this season if they want to walk away with a championship.
Before you jump in, let me ask you a question real quickly, Stephen A. And suppose Steph Curry wins.
Okay, you got 5. You got 5.
And that puts him ahead of who?
I understand that, but the point is that the reigning defending NBA champions, they ain't coming from the gutter. They ain't coming from the sewer. They're the reigning defending champions.
Nobody cares where you came from when you talk about legacy.
They do.
Legacy is something to consider 10 and 15 and 30 and 50 years from now. When you look back, if the inventory says Steph Curry's got more, he's got more.
I got that. And let's look at it right now. This season, what would we be saying at the end of this season? Historically, yes. Years down the road, yes. But right now, we would be like LeBron.
Well, this is a great question. I feel like Fred Sanford. Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. And the way that you pay homage to Michael Wilbon, I'm going to pay homage to you, the ESPN face of the franchise. what did you call Kevin Durant's move to the Golden State Warriors?
The weakest that I'd ever seen by a superstar.
When they won the championship, his general manager, Bob Myers, alluded to him being on the bandwagon. KD got it so tough from fans and media and even his own teammate, Draymond Green, that he left the Splash Brothers to go play with Kyrie Irving with the Nets. And you were there covering the Nets. How many playoff series did they win?
1.
Okay, it was so bad that Kyrie's gone, Harden's gone, and KD's gone. The answer is clearly Kevin Durant. LeBron redeemed himself from going to Miami with the public by going back to not only Cleveland to win it, but winning one with the Lakers. They still gonna have the GOAT conversation for him. Steph Curry has already cemented himself as the favorite player of this generation, and he already has 4 championships. One before KD, one after KD. The Phoenix Suns have had how many championships, Michael Wilbon, in their franchise history?
0.
0. So Kevin Durant has a chance to bring them a championship. He's definitely the answer to this question.
Let me tell you.
Unequivocally,
you are wrong. And let me tell you why you're wrong, for one reason and one reason only. Because you said Phoenix. If KD had won in Brooklyn, you'd be right.
That's
but
worse.
Not Cleveland. No, not Cleveland. I'm sorry, not Phoenix. I'm sorry. Not Phoenix. Not when you got Devin Booker, CP3, DeAndre Ayton, and Monty Williams as your coach. Oh, no.
He would have had Harden and Kyrie. So those guys are Hall of Famers. What are we talking about,
what he did. What he did in departing from Golden State and what he himself had assembled in Brooklyn. If you had done it in Brooklyn, yes. In Phoenix, not so much.
Well, he only won, as you mentioned, 1 playoff series. The Nets did when it was those 3 together, so it wasn't exactly what we expected.